numbers to that height to do anything, but you guys are gonna out rotate them just by virtue of how your comp's built.
Mhm.
So
So
I think the way that you win the neutral is you force you swing your numbers to force unwinnable fights onto the space that you want, and then as they rotate to deal with that, then you need to be rotating to like respond to that act. Like you kind of need to like you sending the three on this angle is like the jab, and like they're gonna respond to the jab, and then you fucking need to hit that opening. Is what I'm saying.
mhm. so um, I'll run through a hypothetical, right,
Hmm.
of what this looks like ideally. Because right now, like they have the triangle soldier back there. Hazard's kind of like he would probably rather be up here, but they're holding this, and then they got this is the big power position.
Yeah.
Hypothetical, can still stay here or swing up here. Um, I don't think that one matters too much, but like Hazard, Hazard, Sombra,
All right, I am fully here now.
Hazard, Sombra, Lucio like can basically run it up here. Hazard's too low to turn and chase. He would probably have to, I don't know, back under here. I think I would
And
want to set my
from,
tracer
from
to
from where the game is paused here, I don't even see how they could win this fight. This Hazard's taking too much damage.
yeah.
Like if my Hazard just keeps banging with him and we send three up that right lane, I think they just lose automatically. To be honest,
Um,
because like what's their response? Like Hazard's gonna fucking jump in and try to fight on 1 HP. Like
yeah, and
you
he's
know,
down like a bunch of block right now.
yeah.
Yeah, I see.
Like the best response they have is like they try to stable and but like if they try to stable, then you guys have already sent three onto that height, and now you're gonna claim that and keep it forever, basically, right?
Yeah.
So it's pretty tough. I think the main mistake here is that we're not like the way we rolled out. It didn't look like we had a clear understanding of our comp and like how to play to like the conditions of said comp. Like okay, I don't understand why we have like a core of players even like walking up into this window. At least like yeah, sure, maybe we want to clear it and make sure no one's hiding there, but like shouldn't be playing through there. We should be like going right as fast as possible because we need that height.
Enemy forward spawn room.
So with this one,
Enemy forward
I want to say
spawn
this
room.
is when I called it out. That we have to once we're staged, like we just have to go because like my Tracer Lu is set up and is starting to get pressured out. We took this high ground from them, like they all drop and just try to
Enemy
flip,
forward spawn room.
but then we immediately have to keep walking because now we finally have that pinch. We have our Tracer Lu here, and we can walk with Hazard Kiri here, and fucking Sombra can TV behind if she wants, I guess. I don't know how Sombra's supposed to play it. Sombra does a thing, but we're sitting here waiting on nothing while our Lucio gets stuck on the guys.
So here's the thing. The play wasn't bad. I think it was timed poorly because like you guys are literally like staged for like a perfect pinch right now, right?
Mhm.
But I literally saw it through the wall. Like my Tracer Lu went first, but if they pull that aggro first, like if you look at just look at the situation. Like if these guys pull the aggro first, the enemy comp like we have already like identified like hey like these guys have a shit ton of burst. That's kind of like they have a shit ton of burst and a shit ton of poke. Like that is what they have over our comp, right? And if my weak side of the pinch is taking aggro first, they are very liable to get exploded. Like, why not let my Hazard take that aggro and then force the issue? You know? Like, because if they like they're going to respond to something. They're not going to ignore the Hazard jumping in their face. So just Hazard go, then Trey Lu go. It's not a big delay, but that delay matters because if my Trey Lu go first, they could easily. I mean, what my Lu gets dinked by Soj, my Trey gets helixed, my Kiri gets a headshot. Anything could happen to make that go fucking like terribly.
Yeah.
And if we just let my Hazard go first, the chances of that fucking plummet.
Tear that down! Vamos, esculacha!
I think it might have been like a misunderstanding of like Hara feels like he has to take aggro first because that's kind of what you do when you're attacking space, but you already have the play set. You're playing like when you're playing for like the catch and you have the catch, you just need your tank to start playing first so that like the play is more stable. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well,
That
I
makes
was trying
sense,
to
yeah.
say it in game here. Like we
Yeah, no, I understood what you were talking about. I just needed to take more space, and
just hop
I
over
mean,
here.
yeah, exactly. And then like when it pushes up more, go to the other high ground to the right of this.
It would end up being like the same situation, but even better than where their Hazard was, because he was like down here.
Well, yeah, it's just
so,
a better
you know,
pinch.
right. But like this is even safer, and if their Hazard goes to contest you, he's kind of the only one unless they're Kiri TPs,
Mhm.
and if the Kiri TPs, you just one shot him. But like we can give him back shots from up here if he's trying
Yeah,
to fight you,
exactly.
and you have 4 seconds of it'd be exactly rules reversed.
I'm not gonna lie, like just based on the map and based on like the mode, I think their comp is fucking infinitely worse than yours. I don't really.
Yes, I think the outplay potential is on us though.
Oh yeah, you
have
guys have to
to-
play
yes.
it well, but if you play it well, I think they're left
Yes.
with very little options.
If we play it well, we don't lose a single fight because their comp is
Yeah.
worse, but their comp is easier.
The comp's a lot easier for sure. For sure.
Half of their comp can just sit back of the map, point and click.
And hold left click.
Yeah. Yeah, they're giving us free space. We're still not taking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just need to be
We're
over
still
there.
not taking it, and because we're not taking it, we're not able to push cart. This is completely uncontested, and therefore this is being the contested space. Whereas if we contest this, this is the uncontested part, right?
We already
They can't look at cart before we clear here, and how fucking hard is it to clear a hazard?
Yeah, I mean,
Especially in that room too.
Yes,
the
it's
Mystique
so
here is
hard.
pretty simple. I feel like my Trey. I mean, honestly, it's everyone, but I'm not sure if it's just because we're scared because my hazard's not up. But like, regardless, when we're walking the card up like that, this whole side of the map is ours. Like we can at our own discretion decide however the fuck we want to set up to make this fight, to make this take as hard for them as possible, right? So, like that's how we gotta be thinking about it. Like when they come in to fight us, like what is the best setup we can have? Like what kind of crossfires do we want to have set up? Like which angles do we want to have being like marked or scouted? Like where do we want our numbers, right? But like right now we have our numbers, like we're setting here like we're playing. Like I don't know, my tank should never be here, but like everyone else is playing like we have double hit scan, and like we're just setting up on the high ground. But our comp wants to be set up for catch. We want to catch them as they're coming in. We want to be able to like get catch someone out of position or like collapse in on the back line as they walk in, right? But we're just not set up. So now it's gonna, instead of it being a catch, it's gonna be we have to hit, which is a lot harder to do, right? Like we're giving up our defender's advantage, basically.
Yes.
Because there's no way this fucking Freya should be on this angle this early. It's like impossible to believe.
She shouldn't be allowed to swing out. She should be like, you know, fucking stuffed at the mega.
She'd be way back here, like literally
Yeah.
fighting like for her life against like fucking Trey Lou or something, and then
Hazard can
Like,
still
I'm
be
not-
here.
there's just so much.
Trey Lou over here, and like once we force her back, then our Trey Lou can come in and pinch on you know whoever's contesting the hazard space.
Yeah.
Um,
Your comp is cancer to retake into if you guys set up right.
yeah. These guys are doing the right play of trying to take our high ground. But if these guys are never allowed to walk out in the first place, it's so easy to just come back and turn. I don't know if my Sombra got forced out. I feel like maybe she should be protecting this.
Apagando las luces.
Oh, geez. How does that get anything?
Apagando las luces.
My sights.
Like that. My Lou got close to Stay down. Next fight happened all the way over here. Okay. If we're walking through here,
Enemy forward spawn room.
I can still play out of here. I need my hazard to jump across, make this the pinch. And then who's back here? Yep, my Sombra's back here. This is good. Contesting the high ground so soldier can't look at us for free.
See, the situation you're in right now is their comp gets immensely more passive value than yours, but their comp also has no dive elements and has very, like, I mean, unless we want to count hazard, but I'm not really going to count that. They have, like, no dive elements, and they don't really have the ability to fight you guys off of any side lane, like, ever. So you need to be, like, when you're attacking space, like, super, like, heavy-handed with, like, take, and, like, make a hit on their backline, because the longer that shit takes for you to do, the more value they're getting, right?
Yeah.
But they don't have a way to actively resist you on a side lane, so it just needs to be, we're going. We're taking this space, and we are forcing on them because they can't stop us, and, like, this is what our comp's strong at, you know? It's really that simple. Like, their comp is a hard-ass poke, like, passive value, shoot our guns comp, and your comp is full map control, full backline access, full mobility, and I just feel like when we're attacking space, we're really slow on the ball to take the space that is completely given to us. It's granted. Like, they can't do anything to stop us. And then on defense, we need to be very mindful about setting up and staging for these catches, like setting up to make their retake as hard as possible, and setting up situations where as they're retaking, we have opportunities to hit and to catch stragglers, you know?
So, like here, another example. My hazard setup in a good time now, but you know we don't need both Tracer and Lucio back on cart when they're walking out of long spawn. You know, this could be the kind of thing where maybe my Lucio is with my Sombra instead, making sure that I can't get flanked and forced out of my safe position from behind. Maybe my Lucio is up here scouting with hazard, like, I don't know, wanting to disrupt theirs, boop them off the high ground, anything but, you know, be way back in the map. Even if you're just playing back here, maybe scouting, maybe poking, at the very least it's giving me a good TP where I'm not out of the fight, but I'm at least safer if they do end up getting on me. Or it could be Lucio on point, and my Tracer is, you know, set up down here ready to pinch if the squishies like walk past her after hazard jumps up here, you know, like my Tracer is ready with my Sombra, and they can go pinch up here.
I think the setup should be. I think your setup should be always like bias towards having like the strongest 2v2 you can have on like the most important space for their retake, right? So like I'm not gonna really decide that for you because I'm not even up to date on the patches or anything. But like whatever you feel like are the strongest combinations of 2v2, like you need to be plopping them down on the space that you really don't want these fuckers to have, and then you guys fight for it. You either control it or you make them burn resources and you kite back and you utilize your defender's advantage like that. And especially like if with their comp, if they're gonna brute force through a space, like yeah, sure, like our two players can't hold off like everyone if they're brute forcing through it, but like as they're walking through, we have advanced information. They've used CDs, and we have other positions set up to collapse on it, right?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I think in general, we have a significant lack of lull state usage. Like yes, we do the general what ults do they have and what do we want to use. But there is so much more, especially on this push map, where like, you know, it like we're just seeing how much we are capable of setting up for each fight and how hard we can make it for them to walk into us. But we
Yeah.
don't. And like lull state usage should be an everyone kind of thing, where like, you know, if my tracer wants or needs help on a lane, you know, that can be communicated with the Lucio. If my hazard wants to or needs to stuff a certain choke point, like make sure that I'm set up in a safe spot that can still support him, and my Sombra is able to look for a pinch with my tracer or hazard. Like, you know, it should be an everyone thing of
Yeah.
everyone. What's next? Constantly, as soon as the fight's over, what's next? What's next? What's next? Bull states are huge. Sombra got forced out, but that's still all right. Could go right back to it. That's a good place to force me. And now this is bad. Because now it's kind of like a straight line kind of comp where they shoot at us. Like, I guess you can draw the line like around the bus. I don't have a cursor right now. Is there a way to get one? Okay. It's right here. Like, it's a straight line comp. We look at them, they look at us, and we shoot at each other, which is very much in their favor. So we need to, I don't know, find a way to, I don't know if my hazard can keep rotating and kind of force this soldier off. That's probably not a good play.
I don't think with our comp that's really good, just because
Yeah,
you have like only
I don't think
Kiri.
that's good.
I think it's different if you have an Ana, but I don't know.
What you're looking at is just like a product of like our setup being bad though. Like it's
Okay.
kind of tough because they win. Like if they get the open space, if they get to sit here and shoot us, like they're just happy, right? And now we're basically in a position where we went from having defender's advantage to like we have to attack the space because we did nothing to control it, right?
Yeah.
So now it's back to okay, how do we attack this space? And now it's like same thing. Like I need to figure out like what space do we need, and we need to fucking overload that shit and take it ASAP so that we can set up the hit like fast enough to where they're not just burning us alive, you know?
Okay. So we could have had better setup to prevent this from happening.
Yeah,
Because of our
definitely.
poor setup, they were able to, you know, do their step one of contesting our staging because we, I guess,
Yeah.
didn't stage well, and luckily we have a significant ult advantage here, and so
Yeah.
now we have to fight for that space back.
Yeah, you're the attacking team again because
Yes.
you gave up your defender's advantage. That's
Right.
all it is.
We gave up defender's advantage. Now we have to take a negative ult trade to get it back, but it's kind of okay because we just have 5.
Apagando las luces.
Not great that they go.
I think he went first because he was scared of you guys rapping on his backline. I think this guy's pretty aware of what's happening. In the room.
That guy's a genius. Genuinely, like I
Yeah.
could. He's so good.
Yeah, it seems like he's
I
like.
said I thought I was in the Matrix. That guy actually is.
Enemy forward spawn room deactivated.
Hey Lilby, can I invite Hadal here?
Yeah. Oh, let me DM Vintage first.
Oh yeah, you should. Yeah, actually, that's.
Okay, I DM Vintage. How
Monty
do-
started playing.
Let me see. Where card is? They let us take it. We
It's
still
like
have to push into them. They still have like card advantage. So
it's
they-
not even bad though. Like when you guys are the attacking, like when you guys are the quote unquote the attacking team, it's not even bad because I just think their comp is dick. Like just run them over with fucking 3 people. Like just run over the sideline. You take everything, and you just force onto. I mean, probably a hit scan. Like I mean, Lucio Kiri are kind of hard. Mm, I think it just depends on what they give you, honestly. But the point is like you just fucking run up the sideline, like kick them off. Like they don't get these guys. These hit scans are not allowed to ever play a strong position because you just kick them off of it, and there's nothing that can fight for that space, anyways, right? So I just think it needs to be like snappier and understanding like the advantage of our comp versus theirs, and how to play not only play through our condition but like actively play against their condition.
so
And theirs is pretty simple, just passive value, shoot our fucking guns.
right. This is a scrim, so I don't necessarily want to have this be a like our comp's better, so it's okay for us to run it down on them. Like Solway, I'm pretty sure was a ringer, and he's kind of just a like stupid hit scan only player. Like
Yeah,
he's
I mean,
like,
I don't even mean like run it down. Like I mean literally the way like you I mean, you can try to be as smart as you want, but I think you're getting a little bit into territory where you're making it harder than it needs to be. Like their comp cannot stop you from taking whatever space you want and forcing on them. So you just do that. Like that's just the game plan. Like you have to look at what they have and look at what we have and figure out your game plan from there. They're playing double hit scan. If we do anything other than take the space and force on them, we are losing because we are getting burnt. Right?
yeah.
It's just that simple.
Okay. My thought process was, I would still like to look at what the right plays would be, like even if they weren't on double hit scan shit comp, because most teams that we would care about the win wouldn't run that.
If they're
But
not on
also
double
like,
hit scan, it
eh,
would still depend on like how the comp is built. Because our comp is like crackhead shit. Like we're playing fucking Sombra, Tracer, Lucio, Kiri, which is not by no means a bad comp, but it's like we're hard spec'd into this very very proactive like
Yes.
gameplay. And if they just like let's say they had instead of Sojourn, they just had Kiri. They had instead of Sojourn, they just had Tracer. I would tell you the same thing, bro. I would tell you just fucking overload that lane and run them over because they still can't fight you. You just
Okay.
need I need my fucking hazard and like whoever might be anchoring with him, whether it's Lucio or I'm not sure like how this would actually play out, but uh just need those guys to take a fucking chill pill and understand, hey, I need my other teammates to play before I can play. You guys You guys run up the side lane, take that fight. If they don't even give you the fight, you just keep wrapping and steal the space and hit. And then when you guys are hitting, then my Hazard and Lucio can play.
Yeah, that I agree
Okay.
with that.
Makes
Um,
sense. Yeah.
As far as the other thing, like where I overcomplicate it, I very much don't expect us to, I guess, perform on or execute everything that I say. But I do think that getting into the details and like finding how is this fight played perfectly,
Mhm.
is very much still worth it because the
Oh, yeah.
more you see it, or like the process of learning, step one is implant the idea, and then step two is you see it again or see similar things, and then you see how can I implement that. So if we I guess establish what is the perfect way to play this, what is the perfect way to stage, then we are more likely to never get it perfect, but become better and eventually great at it. I guess consistently. We can consistently have great staging setups and execution.
Totally. I agree. Um, I just think like a lot of the time that starts with because you're right about like your general like steps of like okay if we're attacking space we need to be like clearing and like proactively like trying to clear out like anyone who and basically fight against their staging, right? Totally. And then on defense, like when you're defending space, you just need to be trying to stage to make their retake as hard as humanly possible. That's like the very big umbrella way to look at it. But the way you get into those details is you have to look at the comps because the matchup informs so much of how you're supposed to play the game.
Yep. It, you did convince me. There's it. You can't look at a general thing when each individual game is nuanced. We have to
Yeah.
look at it through the lens of this own game. We can't look at this game through the lens of other
Mhm.
games. So yeah.
You're thinking like you thinking through the theory and like trying to pin down like the like I said, like the umbrella way of looking at it is great, and like that's a great starting point. And you're not wrong at all. Like what you are saying is not wrong, but it's in this game. We don't need to be like doing this little like footsies game when we know if we our comp is built in a way where I can just overload this side lane and there's nothing they can do. So yeah, we are clearing that space and we are quote unquote fighting against their staging, but their staging is just setting up their hit scans and like that has like no active counterplay towards what we want to do anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. I think they're able to just run across or run through, like we're kind of overloading this side, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. But we definitely at once that happens, I don't know, should it happen before where we do stack someone with the helm? Maybe go more into the 2-2-1 as a default. But then if they just back up instead, if we did have two on this side, then it becomes that it becomes a line where we just look at each other again. So maybe that's not how it is. I think our initial staging is right here, and we take off that high ground, and they do make a good call of rushing through. Our Hazard already used cooldowns. It'd be cool if we could stop and pinch when that happens. Is that possible for us to stop and pinch?
They're running under. We should be hitting. Like
Yeah.
we're look. We're set up, but we're set up before they break through. The wall, awesome Hazard wall. They're like stuffed, which lets us get even better positioning. But then we're lagging. We're lagging because if you look at by the time they're like running through, we should we are set up perfectly to hit. This is what our
Yes.
comp wants. We want to fucking hit their back line, and we're set up perfectly for it. So we just have to pull the trigger.
right?
I think Lobby said that in the scrim actually that we were taking way too long to actually pull the trigger, and this is like actually the fight. I think that he said that.
Yeah.
It looks like my Hazard doesn't have CDs though. Obviously, he still has block, and you can just drop on them and shoot them.
Yeah, I mean, look at his position. If they're trying to run under,
This
this
is
character has a shotgun, right?
phenomenal positioning.
Yeah.
And, like it,
Yeah.
shouldn't matter. We still should try to hit, but it
Yeah.
wouldn't be as successful as like they did this on the right timing. Of my Hazard did kind of just completely blow his load.
That's true, but look at all our other players. Like our comp, we have no fucking hit
Yes.
scan, and for that we have even more players that can participate in the hit, right? And they have double hit scan. If they cannot kite out, they auto like it. I don't even care if this dive is played like shit. If the dive happens on a good timing, they just shouldn't win. Like it's really hard for you to lose if you get a well-timed hit with this comp against their comp. Because they're trying to skedaddle so hard because they need to create space to have a fighting chance.
We're reloading. Oh, I guess we're not looking. As soon as we see, I think we can just downpour.
But yeah, it could happen now. It honestly. Where's my Sombra?
Sombra's back here.
Okay.
They could absolutely turn on our Sombra and kill him because of our inaction here. My Tracer's full HP, has Pulse Bomb. Does she yep, has Recall. Like
Yeah, it's just time to play. It's really just time to play because like we already we've already talked about the fact that hey, they have double hit scan. They have way higher passive value. If we just sit here and like look at each other, they're getting way more out of it. The longer these guys can make this fight, the more they're getting out of it. Like so, there is like a big emphasis on pulling that trigger and like making sure we're not giving them too much time to play. Because even if like okay, we hit once. We get this awesome staging that we hit them. Let's say because my Hazard blew his cooldowns that we're not going to convert immediately. We've still forced him to blow a bunch of CDs, and now we can we just go for the second hit. We play to win on the second hit. It's like, but now we've let them get out at very little cost, and we lost all of our staging, and now we have to fight for it again into all this poke.
Yeah. There was a time where there's like 3 in this room. That's easy. Hazard ult. I actually don't think I like this wall. I think the wall is like vital to either stopping the rotations or like the wall is how you get your one-shot combo.
I think the intention.
Not really. Actually, you can pretty easily like one shot without wall. I won't lie.
Yeah,
I think the intention here was
wall like
probably
guarantees it. I would say.
I don't know. What I see when I look at this is he's trying to stuff the choke so that you guys can get up on that height without them. Like,
I mean,
the fact that they're
well, no, I was gonna say like, that's kind of like why I did it. I mean, the wall's like not perfectly placed, obviously, but like that was like the idea behind it.
Yeah.
Force like if Kiri needed to cross or whatever for whatever reason, she'd have to TP or like just wait. So it gives us better. I thought it would give better tempo. That's why I did it.
Without this wall, that would still be the case because like this is such a bitch positioning. What the fuck can you do from here? Even if you swing wide to where the wall is, all you can see is our Hazard with full armor. Like this is, if they were on the high ground and you just walled like here to deny this power position where they can see all of us, absolutely I agree. But this is such a bitch position that we don't care about this choke because what happens if they walk out of this choke right now? They get slashed on, and if you had... they
just get pincered. You're right, yeah. I agree.
Yeah, this area of the map, all of this low ground, is completely useless to both us and them, unless... I mean, maybe our Tracer could drop from high and, like, have a good pinch at this exact moment, but, like, for the most part, this is just useless space. Why do we care about contesting useless space?
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. I actually agree with your point.
The slashing on the Lucio, that's great. We cleared him off of the high ground that matters. Our lack of wall, like if we had wall to put it right here where they're trying to rotate, we don't need ults. They just get one shot. You slash into them and it's like 150 damage instantly. But even though we don't do that, we do still need to hit. There's 3 in this room. That's the hazard ult. There's it works out, but we have to use 3 ults to make it work.
Yeah, I mean,
whereas like if it
I
played
mean-
perfectly, but you didn't even use it any.
yeah, I mean, you like it worked out, quote unquote, but like no part of your game plan actually was performed at all. Like we just dumped ults, you know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
that's
wasn't.
fair.
It wasn't even like we didn't play it perfectly. I would argue. Let me bring it back. It's not the no part because we did a good job of taking our space. We did a good job of doing it quickly and not hesitating for no reason. But then when we got the space, we just didn't play the win con out. So like that was the mistake, and
Yes.
then we had to top a bunch of ults.
I think we staged right, but we didn't pull the trigger.
Yeah, yeah.
Figured out step 1, forgot step 2.
Yep.
Okay, next fight. I do think
The good thing is, I think you did mention it that fight,
Yeah.
like directly after that. So I think it does improve here.
Enemy forward spawn room activated.
pretty sure I remember we staged better. While my hazard contesting the space up here. It's okay to use a CD because only one of them is out. Oh wait, never mind. We're down. We're down, people. I called the fact.
Yeah, it's smart to get out.
Yep. So, but like this is the kind of thing where this is where we need to use ults because we can't set up pre-fight. We don't have the pre-fight space, and now we have to fight at ult disadvantage. Whereas we had a heavy ult advantage, and if we pulled the trigger, like we just snowball and we could maybe even pull cap off of that shit.
I just really dislike how like
I've got you
like
in my
what the
sights.
fuck is my Kiri and like we're just not playing. Like we need to just send people up the lane and like take something. Like we're pussyfooting against a team that wants us to pussyfoot. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Yeah, they can just shoot their guns better than us.
Yes, exactly.
we're down
Yeah.
from the trades of the previous fight for this specific fight.
But watch when you guys get up.
Yeah.
My Tracer's already like trying to play for this lane, and we sit around like shooting our guns for a while, and like Hara is kind of getting hung to dry here for no good reason. We could just
Yeah,
be
yeah, I understand that. Yeah.
my fucking like, cause look, my hazard's not gonna instantly explode if we just don't hug him. Like he's fine, and we can send numbers on Tracer to actually play it, because like he's holding aggro. My hazard's holding aggro, and then my Tracer tries to come up here and hold some aggro, but then she can't because she's alone and she gets kicked out immediately, and then like we're just all like, it seems like we're all off tempo with each other, because now my Lucio's here trying to help, but it's kind of too little too late, it feels like.
Forward spawn
Yes,
room
the
activated.
off tempo thing is that was a problem in a different map.
Mhm.
And I also said that like we also have the issue of when someone does get forced out, maybe because of improper staging, like other people still end up trying to hold their power positions, and instead of like us, I guess what's it called, like distributing aggro. You know how like the formula for pressure, right? If you lay down on a bed of nails, it doesn't hurt. But if you like just push your hand
Stomp
into
on
one nail,
Yeah.
the nail goes straight through. Or if you step
Yeah.
on a nail, like you now have a hole in your foot.
Yeah.
It's like that, where because one person got forced out, and then another person is still trying to hold their power position, they can just send 5 to look at that person, and now that person doesn't even get forced out, they're just fucking dead.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I'm saying with your comp, is like Hazard, this game, like, tanks like an asymmetrical like power level, right? So like Hazard is not the same value on a lane as your Tracer is. He's greater than, because he's fucking a quadrillion HP tank,
Hazard
right?
is kind of Thanos.
And with that understanding, when we're talking about pressure and trying to like make sure our team doesn't fold, like if we, okay, let's think about it logically. If we stick stack, if we just front to back, look at these guys, what's gonna happen?
They have double hit scan pelting our hazard in the face, and they do more damage to our tank than we do to theirs.
Yeah. So that's enough pressure, like, and it's enough pressure. It's enough passive value to the point, like, how do I say it? That their level of passive value outweighs ours so much to where, you know, that little front to back situation is a nail. It's not the nail bed, you know? Like, the way we can create the nail bed or even maybe a nail for them is we have to make we have to use our numbers. Use our comp is built to where we can throw numbers around in different places. We need to use these numbers to pull aggro away from my hazard, and you make them decide, are we going to put these numbers into this hazard and try to burn him while these other guys play, or are we going to try to deal with these other guys while the hazard plays? And then if you guys juggle that situation properly, both sides of your pinch is going to get to play, and you're probably going to fucking explode someone, because I don't think their comp is good, period.
Makes sense. Yeah.
Because your hazard, they don't. What can they do to force the issue with your hazard? If your hazard's just hanging out and understanding, we got numbers going elsewhere, I just need to chill. What can they do? Like, they can't force on him. If they force on him, you guys just play faster, and my hazard might blow some CDs to kite. You guys play faster and just explode them. They boom them as they overcommit, right?
2-minute warning.
So, I mean, on a macro level, I genuinely feel like there's no way for these guys to win if you guys play it right. Because it's just double hit scan with hazard, and like even their backline's like not built to even play like with the soldier Soj. It feels like they have the same backline as you, but you guys just utilize those heroes better within your comp.
Okay, so my play for this one is our hazard use leap to contest this space. That is good. That is great. My Tracer Sombra are set up here. I recognize that my hazard's in a good spot, but also that, you know, their Soldier Kiri are trying to, you know, take this lane. This is the lane they also want to make cart the most uncomfortable place in the world to be, because we are the ones that have to push cart. But we can play to win the fight. My Sombra's already set up invis behind them with EMP. I TP up here for safety and to watch the fight. I think Tracer Sombra here for this given spot is the as you said earlier, the strongest like 2-player pod.
Yeah.
They can both drop behind. I TP up. I'm safe. My hazard has his cooldown back in 5 seconds. And does my Lucio have amp? My Lucio does have amp. We can run it down on the EMP on these two. Or if, you know, Sombra can also hit the Soldier Kiri, that'd be cool too. But
if we're thinking about the ult, like the EMP, 100%, like the ult's just gonna swing this fight too hard for them to do anything. But like, let's imagine we don't have EMP. Like, this is low-key still checkmate. No, it is. Like, you could just Tracer Sombra just start fighting them there. My Kiri can blink overload that side of the map while my hazard is kiting it out. And then if they ever turn on you guys fully, then my hazard Lucio amp into them, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like, y'all kind of got checkmate here, to be honest.
Yes. That is my, you know, seeing the staging, how I think the fight is won. That's the play out. Don't go for the pinch, or I guess we kind of do.
It's kind of shit. It's kind of shit.
Yeah, I see
I-
Hara drop in to exactly where they're all looking already.
Yeah. Hara got lost. Hara needs to be like we're not understanding that they're all looking at Hazard right now.
Uh-huh.
Like me and Sombra are on their backs. Just take their back. Like it's really simple. Like we get the easier shots. We get the easier shots. We get the better target, and when they turn around at us, they're looking away from a Hazard. It's just infinitely more value.
This is a classic go second kind of play. They all look at our tank, so make them choose. Like which way am I gonna look? Am I taking back shots for free, or am I letting
And my Hazard is healthy.
am I letting Thanos get infinite care?
Yeah, like my Hazard is like still reasonably healthy here, and we still have Amp. Like there's so much to play with here.
Yep. We have to leap out. Our Hazard's
Like
still
I mean
looking at
they're
my
dumping
five.
ult. Like, this is so chill.
Yeah. I think I heard, are we ready for EMP like 5 times this fight, and there was just never a response.
60 seconds remaining.
I mean,
We had our stage, we just gotta pull the trigger.
yeah, I mean, I low-key think this fight Hara kind of sold. He just tried to cheat onto the Sojourn instead of looking at what his team's actually doing. This is kind of what I was trying to tell Hara the other day. I feel like the single thing that like holds him back the most is just like playing internally. Like it feels like Hara's like knows how to like generally get value out of Tracer and like get value out of his role, but he doesn't factor in like the context of his teammates and enough into what he's doing.
Overtime.
Despite the execution being
This ends.
very bad,
The setup was good. The setup was great.
the setup was so good that they barely pushed Cart. I think they got like 10 meters out of it. Cart was already here, but they had to just sit back here and shoot at us because our setup was so good. That like no, we did in fact make it so that Cart was the most dangerous spot. No one was allowed to push it.
Yeah, 100%. The setup was
That
fantastic.
is, even when execution is bad, like that is still the power of good setup. That shows.
My Tracer is trying to take left side.
I think that's good. As long as
No, I think that's
open.
good.
I think
I
Lucio
just
should.
I don't appreciate my Tracer being alone because I'm gonna get up here into a stalemate with this fucking soldier Lucio.
Yeah, get poked out, grab Mega, get poked out again, recall, get poked out, and then in between all of that downtime, Sojourn is still
Sojourn is
able to
shooting
just
people.
shoot down for free. Yeah,
Yeah.
we take
And
seconds.
this is what I'm saying. Like, you guys should just have my Hazard hold his nuts and chill a bit and like overload that fucking high ground. God, Hazard's animations are so violent, bro.
Could also, I don't know if Lucio or Tracer's more capable of just living against Hazard. I'm gonna say it's probably Tracer.
Should be.
Like
should
just
be.
have one person sit Cart. I think my Hazard Lucio ended